Hi, I'm Dana, and we are doing another video that's addressed at the comments that annoy me. I always feel kind of rude doing these because I want to make content for the people that follow me and that are nice, and not the people that probably don't follow me and are quite rude. But I have, in the last couple of months especially, but honestly the entire time I've been making videos, I've gotten quite a lot of comments that have gone into quite a lot of detail, breaking down how I'm making eye contact with the camera fine, and I'm able to speak, and I'm able to do this and that. I have body language, I have facial expressions, I'm doing all these things. So actually I'm clearly really good at socializing, and I'm just completely fibbing about being autistic, or I've self-diagnosed, or I'm in some way some sort of little fraudulent scammer, you know? And it's one of those things that I both find really funny and also annoy me quite a lot, because in one way it's like I kind of get it, because if I was out in the world being like this, having this sort of confidence, speaking to people like this, being able to interact in this way, I can see why you would be like, oh, she's fine, there's no social problem here. But also the reality is I'm in a YouTube video. I'm not in a social interaction. I'm not having to respond to people. I'm not having to have any sort of back and forth. I'm not having to make eye contact. The amount of people have told me, well, you make eye contact fine in videos. I'm looking at a camera lens. There's no person here. This isn't posh. This isn't a set. You're a phone on a tripod in my living room. I don't have a cameraman. There's no one looking at me. And I think people also forget that social interactions contain far more than just making friends, just having fun times. It's things like being able to advocate for yourself. It's things like being able to access healthcare. There's a lot more to the day-to-day socializing. It's being able to get issues in your house fixed so that you don't have damp and mold. There is a lot of socializing that happens and back and forth that happens that requires socializing to be able to exist and live a half decent life. And I struggle with it. I struggle a whole lot with socialising. Quite frankly, if I was able to socialise and form connections with people and deal with all of that, I don't think I'd ever have started making YouTube videos. So with that rather lengthy intro, at least for me, out of the way, we're going to get into some of the social difficulties that I have. And one of the big ones, and one of the ones that a lot of the social stuff that I have, I am sort of I think that nice people will just sort of deal with it and accept me, and it's not that big a deal. But one thing that does really bother me about myself is how much I struggle to ask questions, whether it's back and forth in conversation. I went to my silent book club again the other week, and I do really enjoy that. But despite it being a silent book club where you read, there is the back and forth with people beforehand, a little chatter, and I do really want to like it, but it also makes me feel so awkward and anxious that I actually deeply don't enjoy that part of it. But I know that the more that I go and the more that I speak to people and the more that I'm familiar with people, the easier it will get and the more I will start to actually enjoy it. But I've had so many situations where someone's ask me about my week, ask me about my day, ask me quite a direct question where I've been able to give quite a fun little answer that's maybe made them chuckle a bit, and I've done the social, I've done it well, and then I'm like, I need to flip this now so that they tell me something about them. And I don't know how to fucking phrase it, I don't know how to say it, I don't know how to ask the question. And I'm still mulling it over and trying to figure it out, and the conversation has moved on, other people are talking, the topic has changed. I'm just the person that was asked this question and gave this rather lengthy answer about myself, and then did not bother to ask anything about the other person. I don't know shit all about them. I don't know. They probably know quite a lot about me at this point. I don't fucking know anything about them because I don't know how to ask a fucking question. And in other social situations, it's things like when I'm trying to describe a problem to someone, when I'm trying to ask, say I've been sent the wrong item and I'm asking a company what to do about it. I'm asking a receptionist how I get a prescription because I have asthma and I need to have an inhaler, and I actually don't know how to get that, and I haven't had one for 2 years now, and I don't understand how prescriptions work. Asking those types of questions in those types of situations, I phrase it as best as I can. I spend a while beforehand thinking about it and scripting it and phrasing it in a way that I think I will be understood as best as I can. And I ask my question and they don't understand, and they're asking for more clarification, and I don't really know how to give it because I've put as much information as I could into the question that I asked. And there's this back and forth that is extremely awkward and jilted, and I don't really know what to say or how to respond. I quite often will like just leave or hang up the phone, or like whatever the situation is, I just get out of it because I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to ask. I have asked for what I need. I don't know how to further phrase it. I don't know what to further ask, and I very simply then don't get to access those things. I don't get to like have my asthma inhalers and things like that because I don't know the questions that I need to ask to get to that point. I don't know how to gather this information. People don't seem to understand the questions that I'm asking when I do ask questions. And I also, as much as like it's been a little while because I try really hard to like think and process and like be a person, but I quite often also misunderstand exactly what it is people mean by question, like within their question. And I will answer with something that is to them completely unrelated. And I think that honestly, in a lot of the nicest social situations that I've had recently, I have probably done it as often as I usually do. It's just that people that have been around have been a bit kinder and a bit more, they just adapt, you know, they're just like, okay, this is where the topic is now, let's talk about that. And I hope they know that I'm not doing it on fucking purpose. I'm not just like, well, this is what I want to talk about. But that's where I think that a lot of my social difficulties do come across to people as like a form of snobbery, as being very self-centered, as very unlikable personality traits, you know. And it is largely that I'm awkward and trying my best and not picking up on the social cues. But like I've had many people that have been friends with me that have been like, oh, I thought you were like really snobby and standoffish and I didn't like you at all at first. And I'm like, oh, lovely, thanks. I also, like I said, like if I didn't have these social issues, I don't think I'd have started making YouTube videos, because one of my massive things is I do not know when I'm supposed to speak in conversation. I so often accidentally interrupt people. I so often have the thing where I like start to speak, but like the conversation like didn't have the pause that I thought that it had for someone to speak, and like I'm talking but no one's fucking looking at me, and it feels like no one cares. But I'm also aware that it's that I've not put out like the social fucking feelers that everyone else just subconsciously seems to do, to be like, it's my turn to talk now. And like interrupting people is the worst one for me. I really hate interrupting people, but especially like if I have a question about something, I need to know something, I often like have to interrupt people because I don't know when you're going to stop fucking talking, and if the topic moves on I look weird for taking it back there anyway. So I feel like it actually makes me look less socially awkward to interrupt and be like, oh, just quickly, sorry, can you clarify this thing, than it would be to like wait until they've changed the topic and other people would like to continue talking about that and then I take the topic back. It stresses me the fuck out. And I also, that's the type of thing where people often tell me like, oh, just don't overthink it. And like, I can't help but overthink it because it's not natural to me. It's not some like built-in subconscious thing that I have. If I don't think about it, I will very simply dissociate and not interact whatsoever, because if I don't think about it, I'm not processing it. Like, I have to think about it, and I have to think about it like this because I don't have any like the base layer subconscious shit to build up off of. I'm having to like start with the foundations, you know? I think one of the big things with like struggling to like put out those social feelers is that I cannot do fucking eye contact. I make extremely minimal eye contact with people, to the point where I often don't even remember what people's faces actually look like because I've looked at their faces so minimally, because I hate the risk of making eye contact with people if I look towards their face. I don't look at people's faces for the most part. I'm especially not looking at their fucking eyes. It makes me so overwhelmed. It makes it so difficult to process anything that's happening around me. I just can't do it. And it's the type of thing that I think a lot of even other autistic people are sort of like, well, you just mask through it, you just look at their eyebrows, you look at their nose instead, you do this instead. If I look at their face, there is the risk of eye contact, and I'm immediately overwhelmed and like can't deal with it, and I'm not processing a single thing that is being said. I'm not processing anything that is happening around me whatsoever. I'm taking nothing in. I'm just in like absolute grips of terror because I don't know when to look and when to look away, and I don't know what to do once I'm looking at someone and I feel like they're expecting something from me because I've made eye contact with them, and it is one of like the most terrifying things to happen to me in my whole entire life. I don't do it. I can't do it. I don't and can't do it. And that obviously, like, I think a hell of a lot of social communication happens through eye contact, through body language, and that stuff that like I just don't have, you know, like the Otis. The body language that I have in videos has been like absolutely manufactured. That is the most like fake thing about me in videos, and even then I feel like a lot of the time I have a couple or propped of like something to hold, something to do with my hands, because I never at any point in my fucking life know what I'm supposed to do with my hands. It's a massive one for me. So like, I don't really do body language. I try very hard to sit in a way that makes me look like I'm comfortable and approachable. I do a lot of like just a little crossed leg, try to relax my shoulders, hands in my lap, probably fiddling with my fingers and like fidgeting, or like, because I have my braids and they're this long, I quite often am just unbraiding and braiding the bottom of it, or like just fiddling with the bottom of a braid, because I need to be doing something with my hands, but it still looks kind of normal because they are just in my lap even if I'm fidgeting. That's my body language. I don't really change it. The more anxious I get, the more likely I am to like sort of like slump in and be like, no, I don't like this. But like, I try very hard to do like a shoulders back. We're friendly and approachable. Anybody can speak to me should they choose to. I'm just not going to look at their fucking face. And it's with the eye contact as well. It's one of those things where that's part of what makes it so awkward to me to go into like new coffee shops, new little restaurants, new cafes, new shops, new spaces in general, is that I'm going to go up to the counter, I'm going to look at what I order, and they're probably going to wait for me to make eye contact, to like come over to the till and like be like, oh, what can I do for you? And like, I'm not making eye contact with them, so they take fucking forever to come over. And I know that it's my issue, so like, I'm not mad at them, but also I can't do the eye contact thing. I don't want to like glance at them and then look away. And like, bear in mind as well, like, that's what I'm doing. Like, I am trying when I'm out and about and living my life. I feel like that is a massive thing people forget as well, but like, you know, I am trying my fucking best. So like, the majority of like, especially with like, that's why I have like the coffee shops that I like to go to when I go to them, is that I feel like the people are sort of aware. People get used to me, I think, quite frankly. So I don't have to like really force like, oh hi, how are you? Thanks, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I just want a fucking latte, okay? Like, I don't have to force the eye contact and force like extreme. I force more friendliness than is really probably required in most situations, just because I'm like, I would much rather be perceived as like a bit over friendly, in like, not in a creepy weird way, but just like very smiley, bubbly, a bit of an airhead. I'd rather be perceived as that than like an arsehole, standish, offish, snobbish dickhead, you know? Like, I would rather people just perceive me in a nice way than a negative one. Shock, horror, what a surprise, who knew? So like, I do it to the best of my ability, but I'm not fucking good at it. And especially when, like, if I'm in a pub, if I'm in a busy pub, I already don't want to fucking be there anymore, for one. But also, there is no fucking chance I'm getting served until like it really fucking dies down. Because people are just pushing past me and they're making eye contact with the bartender. So they're getting their drinks taken. And I'm not making eye contact with fucking anyone. I don't want to be there. And my body language is very like, why the fuck am I here? And like, I can't tell you how many times I've waited at the bar and watched like all of the people around me change like 3 times before I managed to order a drink. I've also had like very fucking similar situations to that in pharmacies, where like it's a busy pharmacy and all these old people are coming in and out and like pushing to front of the queue, and the pharmacists are like coming out and like making eye contact with people, and I'm just not being fucking noticed. And I know that it's because I need to like make myself notice, make the eye contact with someone, initiate it. But I just can't, and I'm just there for fucking ages, and it's horrible. When it comes to more fun things though, I also really struggle to be someone who like consistently shows up to different things and goes to see people and like is in any way a social like butterfly getting around, because I need quite a lot of clarity before I'm showing up to something. You can't tell me, oh, we're going to this gig on Friday at 7, are you coming with us? Where is it? What is it? Who's going to be there? What's the venue like? What, like, is that actually when you're showing up, or is that when doors open you're going to show up later on? Or you're going to like show up earlier than that and go and have a drink? Like, I need the whole entire plan before I tell you yes or no to something. If I don't have that, I'm not showing up. And I also think that I have had many an occasion when people have tried to invite me to things and I just didn't realise I was fucking being invited. Like, I have to like very clearly be told like, this is something you can come to, this is when and where it is happening, this is when we are showing up, you can go with us. This isn't just a this cool thing's happening, you should give it a go. We do want you to actively go with us. Because I've also had that where people have told me about things, so I've been like, oh, that sounds really cool. So then I've gone along on my own and bumped into them there and been like, oh, I'm so glad you told us about this. And they're like, why didn't you say you could have come with us? And I'm like, I thought you were just telling me about it. I don't know, like, didn't grasp it, didn't catch it, sorry. Alongside that, I'm uncomfortable in every social setting that isn't my house. Every single one of them. If I'm not in my house, I'm not in a space that I'm comfortable in. Like, even when I'm out in the fields and out in the woods and like having a good time in nature, there's a level of me that knows that I might not actually be entirely alone at any point. And not in like a, like, I'm going to be murdered. Like, it's not like in a horrible anxiety way. It's just in the general like knowledge and perception of like, lots of people go out and enjoy nature here. There's probably another person having a walk about. And that's fine, they're allowed to. But it does make me a little bit less comfortable than I am in my house now that no one else is here. I also am uncomfortable with people being in my house. And I also, even with the people that I am the most comfortable with in the world, even like when I've been in long-term relationships, even the people that I've been like, thought that I was deeply in love with, the people that I should have been most comfortable around, never in my life have I been completely comfortable to completely be myself around anybody. If I'm not alone in my house, I'm not completely comfortable. And that's something that I've gotten to be kind of comfortable with. Like, I've learned to accept it, I've learned to deal with it, I've come up with little ways that I cope. I've learnt to hope that I meet nice people who accept me and are nice to me even though I'm a bit awkward and weird. I've learnt to just sort of hope for the best when I go out and deal with the fact that I'm going to be unawkward. And I just deal with the fact that if I'm not in my house, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. And the more people that I'm having to socialise with and the more unfamiliar my surroundings, the more uncomfortable that I am. Always feeling a bit uncomfortable and a bit anxious just makes it sort of hard to socialise. I quite often struggle to speak in a volume that people can actually hear. My voice often goes up to be quite high in real life. Like, I often like do it. I don't think I can even fake it for you. Like, it's quite a high-pitched girly voice. I don't really know why I do it, but I do. As soon as I leave my house, as soon as it's not just me alone in my house, because I'm sorry, but a little rectangle with a little fucking like glass bit don't count as, like, I know logically people are going to perceive me from this, and like at least like 500 people probably watch this video. It's a fucking rectangle with a bit of glass. They're not looking at me now, are they? I am just physically unable to be as relaxed and comfortable and normal and like able to speak and able to like move my body and hold myself correctly and whatever else. I'm just physically unable to do that out and around people and in actual social settings, in actual social situations. Half the time I struggle to even like do important phone calls without fucking crying on the call. And they're like, are you alright there? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just like this, I'm sorry, we're just going to have to continue. And that's when I am alone in my house and just having to speak to someone on the phone. Like, being a person out in public, out around people, I find extremely difficult. I'm doing my absolute very best to find like the point between unmasking and being myself while also being friendly and putting my best foot forward and trying to make connections and build community and be friends with people and like just have a nice fucking time, to be honest with you. Like, I'm putting the effort in, but it's extremely difficult. And I'm never entirely sure how I'm being perceived. I never really know what's going on. I quite often agree to things that I can't follow through on. I struggle massively to even reply to people's messages to be able to like continue friendships and meet up with people and actually like build relationships and build friendships and build a fucking life and a community. Like, all of it is so extremely fucking difficult. And I'm finding the most comfortable ways I'm able to do it. I'm trying my best to do it. But oh my fucking god, is the fact that I'm able to make some stupid little videos to post online not an indicator of my ability to actually socialise with people in real life as an autistic person? Like, it's just not, they're not comparable. They are completely different situations. And I do feel like completely different people in both of them. And not in like a like I'm so fake for YouTube, right? But like the person that I feel I am at root, at heart, like my true actual nature, the person I am when I'm safe in my house and I feel comfortable is so vastly different from the person that I am when I feel the pressure of socialising and I'm overwhelmed, I'm uncomfortable, and it's all a hell of a fucking lot to process and to deal with and to get through and to try and like react to and find the right reactions and the right things to say and do the right faces to things and react properly. It's all so fucking much. I very rarely feel like I'm any fucking good at it. I think I rely a lot on trying to come across as being friendly and pleasant and nice and doing my best and hoping that people are kind to me due to that and accept that and are just fucking nice about it. And, you know, like, especially in more recent months, I've been finding those people, and I do feel welcomed and accepted into spaces, even if I am a bit awkward and a bit weird and struggling a little bit socially. You know, and I also often manage to find the people that are quite similar and we're able to like mesh up, and it's lovely. Like, it's not all negatives, it's not all downsides, it's not all the worst thing in the whole entire world, but it does make a lot of things difficult. It does make a lot of things very stressful and overwhelming and difficult to access and difficult to do, and it does quite often leave me very isolated and unable to do things and access things and know things that I need to know about my own life, about my own health, about bills, about contacting contracts men to come out and like sort things within the house so that issues don't get worse. I'm juggling it, but it feels like a full-time fucking job. It feels like it takes so much energy, so much mental capability, so much socialising and doing things and being a person and trying my best. And I'm pretty sure all of the contract people that come out think that I'm going to be an asshole because of the way that I message, because I come across as like really formal and dissatisfied via message, even though I've read it through like 9 times to try and not come across like that. I feel like I still do, and they all seem a little bit relieved when I'm just like, yeah, everything's fine, you can do anything you need, everything's okay, shall I just leave you to it there, that's lovely, you go up there, thank you, everything's fine. And like, that's not actually the voice that I do, don't get me wrong, but like, it's how I feel inside. So that's the video, because I'm filming this late on Monday evening and somebody knows it's dinner time. So yeah, that was the video. Those are ways that I really struggle to socialise, and I've just done the outro really, haven't I? So I'm not going to say it all again. If you would like to see more content like this, you can like the video and you can subscribe, and that like helps me in the algorithm and is good for the channel, and Dana see number go up happy. So you can do that. You can also find me over on Instagram or TikTok if you wanted to. I'm continuing to explore Yorkshire a little bit. I have some pictures I need to get posted to Instagram. I feel like I probably should get back to TikTok, but the comments are always just really mean and I don't really want to be there, so I don't know. You can also find me over on Patreon, okay, if you would like to help me out a little bit financially. You don't have to, there's no pressure. It's entirely up to you. If you join the Patreon, the link to the Discord is there somewhere. It's probably pretty buried, but also if you message me on Patreon, I'm much more likely to respond within like 3 days instead of 3 months, you know? I feel like I have too much saliva, I'm sorry. My mouth always goes really weird towards the end of videos. I've done a hell of a lot of talking. I don't remember if I said at the start because I've been talking for a while, but that's also one thing I find really funny, is that people judge my videos on like what my social capabilities should be. And like, can you imagine if I was doing like 24, 25 minute just like monologues at people? Like, this isn't how you socialise. This isn't how socialising works. This is a monologue, this is a video, this isn't... It's just so vastly not the same. Okay, I'm going now. That's the video. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year. Me and Otis will see you in a couple of days after he's had his din-dins and his brekkies and his everything. He's going to eat so much food between now and then. Oh, let's go.